Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Roots with the C10 Club, New Mexico. I have with me today uh, Josh Richardson with Rusty Balls Speed Shop. Josh, you there?
I'm here. What's
Uh,
going on tonight?
all right, all right. So yeah, I mean, been meaning to get your ass on the phone and hash some things out, right, about what's going down in Ruidoso and all the BS we see on social media and we see as far as with what the news puts out and everything and I think another thing what we want to talk about in regards to this little interview here is a lot of people are freaked out, right? A lot of people don't want to go to Ruidoso, and I thought, what better way than to hear it straight from the horse's mouth and somebody that's obviously been through some shit. You've been through some shit, dude, in the last year, right? Year and a half we're working on. You know what when
Yeah,
well, we're working on a year, I would say, right?
yeah, we've been 13 months or a little better, but it's it's all what you make it. But to touch on what you just said, it's the village of Ruidoso is still here. It's still an awesome place. It's got some issues just like any place else does. I mean, I don't know of any town in this country that's perfectly fine. I mean, something's got something going on. Yeah, we've had some rain. We even had some this afternoon. Some more flooding, and the truth of the matter is bad news travels faster than good news does,
Right.
and it's something that we're fighting. It's really tough on business owners here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, our mayor got on the news and told everyone don't come to Ruidoso, and everyone listened.
Mm-hmm.
Now this will be our second season of an economic downturn,
Mm-hmm.
and it took a lot of people out last year, and it's going to take more out this year. But the truth of the matter is I mean, don't be scared to come to Ruidoso. Like I say, it's here. The people are excited to see folks come in. I mean, no one's going to tell you to leave, and no one's going to run you off. I mean, they're excited to have anyone here. They'll tell you exactly where to go and where not to go, and how to stay safe, and just educate yourself. Turn your notifications on if you feel like you need to, and just stay away from the low-lying areas. If a rainstorm happens,
Right.
it's
Right. And
you know these things are. There's going to be a lot of rainstorms for quite a while. They're not all flooding rainstorms, so um, you can treat them that way. That way, you just know for a fact that when it starts to rain, just go find you a place to hang out. A restaurant or a shopping area up in Midtown or anywhere where you feel comfortable, and give it a little time. It comes into town pretty fast and it leaves at the same speed. So as
right.
soon
And
as it
I
stops raining,
and I think that
sure.
I think it's that way with anybody that's from New Mexico knows that, right? I mean, I it's funny. I was telling a coworker of mine, and I think I don't know very many other places where I mean it rains when the sun's out, and we're notorious for it. And I'm not saying we never get consistent rain, like where it rains all day or it rains for an hour or so, right? But most rain that comes into New Mexico is, it'll you get a good rain for 20 minutes, and then it's gone, and so just like you
Yes.
said, I mean, to just just seek shelter, right? Go into a restaurant. I mean, and I think the whole reason we're talking about this as well, and I think this firsthand, and that's why I wanted to kind of do this interview so that everybody knew, right? Again, hearing it straight from the horse's mouth, because at the end of the day, last year, you know, fires just the fires just ran through there, and you were actually one of the ones that experienced that devastation. And I mean, I can't even fathom, Josh, as far as losing everything, right? I mean, you lost everything. You were able to keep your shop, and for that, it's a blessing, right? But I mean, I did want to touch on that because not only did you lose your home, you lost personal vehicles that are classic vehicles that were builders, and that affects you personally, right? And that's the whole reason that we wanted to do this run to Ruidoso Car Show, is to kind
Yeah.
of help benefit the village, right? If you can just kind of tell us a little bit on, your experience from the day of, right? You get a call and you hear about fires, and what the hell do you do? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even imagine. And if you want
Oh
to share,
man.
I would love to hear it, because I know I've heard bits and pieces, and since we've known each other, we've talked about it. And again, that's the whole point of this, is to support Ruidoso, to bring business to the village. Tell us a little bit
Yeah.
about what you experienced last year with the fires, in the beginning, right? Because the fires came before the flood.
Oh yeah. It was the morning of June 17th. I actually got a call about 9:30 that morning. Just let me know that there was a fire up in the res. It was up in Upper Canyon. Um, I was told not to worry about it. They had people on the way. The res had a helicopter headed that way, and they could have it out pretty quickly. Um, by about 12 o'clock, we realized it was bigger than that.
Mm-hmm.
About 4:30, I decided to go up there to where my house was still standing at the time, and got there just in time to realize that we weren't going to make it out of this one.
Mm-hmm.
It does do a couple bullets in the past, just in the past year. We'd only owned the house, that place for a year, and we lost a place in the fire previously, a couple of years prior to that. But so anyway, I had time to grab a clothes basket and a couple of personal items of Susie's, and I got out of there, and like you said, it took everything. I was 54 at the time, and it was not just stuff I'd collected; it was family heirlooms, stuff been passed down.
Mm-hmm.
It took it all. There was no time to get anything, and we lost 25 trucks and cars in the fire too.
Jesus.
And, it's side by sides and tractors and trucks, and it's just one of those things that at my age, I'm in my third trimester. I tell everybody,
Well, and that's why I say
so-
I really, I can't imagine. I cannot imagine. Like you said, just things that are so sentimental. You have them one moment, and you've had them for years. You've had them for years,
Yeah.
Josh, and they're gone. And that's
yeah, it was tough,
devastating to
man.
say
I'm
it
not
as an
gonna lie.
understatement. As an understatement, being
And
devastating.
yeah, I mean, I went ahead and left right before the house was completely consumed there.
Mhm.
But added a little insult to injury. It caught the house on fire, and then the house fell over, and then had natural gas in it too. So what was left blew up.
Oh,
So
shit.
to go ahead and clean it all off and be done. And
Right.
it's something I don't dwell on it a lot, because it happened and we can't change it. We just have to move forward from that.
Right.
It was an eye-opening experience. We left town that night. I don't think it really struck home with Susie very much until the next morning when the sun came up and we're sitting in Roswell, and she looked at me and said, we're homeless. I said,
Right.
yeah, we are. We're
Right.
homeless,
Right.
But, there's only one thing to do. I mean, the only thing I knew to do was just start over right there that morning, and, just
Right.
drive right down to Sam's and pick up some socks and underwear. And, that's where you start.
Right.
And you just pick up and keep moving. But, it's not an isolated incident, Rudy. There was a lot of people here lost their homes.
Right.
And, we're all in the same boat. Most of us were insured. Some of them didn't have any insurance at all.
Mhm.
And that's the people that's really bad. I mean, I don't know of anybody here, including us, that's got all their money from the insurance company yet. they're still holding everyone's money pretty much.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
and I mean, and are you in that boat, or are you is the ball at least rolling with as far as your insurance?
no, yeah, we're kind of in this same holding pattern. Like I say, it's been almost, well, about 13 and a half months now
Oh,
since the
yeah.
fire. And, they throw a little at you and then they back away and they want you to jump through hoops and supply, receipts and pictures and stuff. And, you don't
Well,
have those.
and that's
They're all
just it,
gone.
Josh. Yeah, exactly. How the hell do I prove to you what I had when I didn't even have enough time to? Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing, right? Because when we have conversations, you're always telling that old dog to shut the hell up, you know. But
Yeah. Yeah. I
was
mean,
there pets? Did you lose pets or anything, or it was just all
no,
personal
no.
belongings and?
Just personal stuff, I mean, I kept Dory and their shop, and I went to the house, but I mean, the only thing I could do was pull up a Zillow listing and actually show them what the house looked like when I bought it.
Right.
Other than that, I mean, I had some pictures on my phone, but receipts and all, and
And
everything was in the house, and I keep
and
reiterating that to everyone.
right.
You know?
And how about all the vehicles? I mean, the 25 vehicles, the side by sides, your tractors. I mean, obviously there's evidence, right, of that stuff there and charred
Yeah,
and I don't think anything, with the exception of you had done the Run to Ruidoso shirt we did last year. What was it, a 55, 56? The one y'all
all that
built?
dually, that was like a
Yeah.
58 dually, I
Okay.
think we
Yeah, no, yeah, it
did.
was a dual
Um,
headlight. So 58 dually.
yeah,
And that, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, that was the only thing that made it out that actually ran, right? Peach or Daniel,
yeah,
or they went up there and it fired up and you brought it and you had it at the show last year. Do you still have that truck?
right. It was actually sold. I'd already sold it to the customer, and he had brought it back for us to put air conditioning on. And it sat there at the shop for a week or so waiting on parts. So I brought it home because I couldn't keep people from getting in it sitting at the shop. So I brought it home so no one tore it up at the shop. So it almost met its demise uh, here at the house. But I moved it to the safest place I thought it could be, and it did survive by the grace of God, I guess. And it's one of those deals. The owner has it back now, and he's
Oh,
actually purchasing the truck from us.
he did take it back. Cuz I know
Oh
that
yeah,
I know last year, and I mean, it, I hate to say it's a blessing, right? But it actually, you know, God works in mysterious ways, I guess I can say, because that truck still, it looked even more badass than when you guys built it. Just knowing that it survived, right?
yeah,
Is just a trip, and I could have swore that I thought, I think because everything was so sudden, right? The fires were, what were they? July or August? When did they happen?
it was June
It was June. It
17th.
was
Yeah.
June. So things were
Mhm.
still fresh, right? Everybody was still like, holy shit, getting back to life. And I think you said you didn't know as far as what the owner at the time, because it was already sold, if he was gonna take it back or not. So it's actually great to hear that he ended up taking it back and it's in his possession. And it's something that survived the devastation that you did. Unfortunately, so many other things. And you said out of 25, that was probably the only thing that made it, right? Or was there any?
The only thing that ran, we
Right.
had a couple extras that were just in very weird spots. It was a very choosy fire. It would jump something just to burn something else. But the ironic part of that red dually was that the owner has a worldwide company, and he sprays fire retardant in buildings all over the world.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, and just to think that his truck almost burned down but didn't, and it was cool because he came by the shop, took a look at it, and said, "Hey, man, let's leave it alone. It's got a cool story to tell," which did me good because it did have a good story to tell, and
For sure.
it was one of those things that it lives on to tell that story, so it's cool.
For sure. And that is one of the reasons that I did put that truck on as far as for the artwork last year, right? Because
Yeah,
it was kind of like our first year trying to do this show, and again, it was to benefit the town of or village, as you call it, of Ruidoso, and try to bring people out there to show support and show love, right? And I know that over the past year, not only last year but this year, right, especially with the floods now, there's so much support that goes out there as far as clothing, water, supplies, food, and that is great, as we've had conversations that people
Hmm.
choose to send that stuff, right? And that's awesome.
You bet.
But again, like you said, as far as the media trying to keep people away, I think that's again why we're having this conversation, and we hope that everybody out there shares, you know all over social media, just like they do with all the bullshit, right? Let's share
Yeah.
this. Let's share this interview, so you hear, again, from a resident of Ruidoso who has a business and literally wants everybody to visit. Right, come down, spend some money, enjoy yourself. Everybody knows Ruidoso is a beautiful place, very
Hmm.
peaceful.
Yeah.
How would
Yeah.
you
There's
go ahead?
honestly, Rudy, I mean, there's not a weekend that goes by in the last 13 months that someone hasn't come in the shop at least one time a weekend
Uh huh.
and said, wow, we were so hesitant to come back. We had told some friends and they said, oh, y'all should just pick a new vacation spot because Ruidoso's gone,
Right.
and even here recently, with the flooding that's happened. And again, that flooding is isolated. It's along the river for the most part. It's in the canyons. It's not village wide, but people they're a little led astray by the media,
Mm-hmm.
and also there are a lot of there's a lot of people on social media pages, whether it's TikTok or Instagram or whatever, and they like to post their own videos. And some of these videos are not even from the village of Ruidoso.
Really?
They're
Well, and
they're
obviously
just
you
yeah,
seeing them, right? What the hell? And that is the
yeah,
crazy thing about social media, right? It creates the news creates, I don't care if it's CNN, your your local news, but most of all, social media creates the narrative, right? For everybody to look at, and it's believable. I mean, the AI shit, man, that's out there right now is like, holy crap, is that real? I mean, and we're talking
yeah.
everything from crazy interviews to the president's face to women. You don't even know if half the women are real or fake. On
Yeah, we'd
social
like
media.
for it to be,
Exactly.
yeah,
And
but
it's
yeah,
so crazy just how the media creates that narrative, and that's what we want to put a stop to. And like I said, the reason for this, right? So how would you say that Ruidoso at this point is rebuilding from last year? How far did they get, right, until this new devastation? Because I think this recent flood, I mean, I think everybody's seen, the media, and I don't know what the name of the river is, if you can help me with that, where the one that ran through the town, and everybody saw, the video of, if anybody knows where Downship Brewery is, and I had no clue it was that, right? Because this river is just kind of a little small river, and anytime I've been to Downshift, it's very pleasant back there, and I said, holy crap, that was the river that everybody saw this house that was just coming down this river, right? And I had no clue that it was in
oh,
the back of Downship, and
yeah.
to me, I'm like, how would you say again? Like I said, how far did y'all get to rebuilding, right? And where are you guys currently as far as rebuilding in town from the devastations of last year, and how did that affect these new floods? How did that affect what was going on?
Well, the Rio Ruidoso River is what runs through the middle of town here,
Mm-hmm.
and you're right. It's a babbling stream. Sometimes during our dry periods here, it's dry. It doesn't even have any water in through it.
Wow.
Um, But just like anything else, whether it's the Rio Ruidoso or the Colorado River running through the Grand Canyon, at times it becomes a raging, river.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't last long. These rains are short-lived. But the village did a really good job of cleaning up town last year, getting things back in order, making it presentable. The track spent a lot of money down there. getting the track back ready for the racing season. All that ended, a month after the opening weekend. But and now, the village is they're still working hard. I mean, there's a lot of contractors here and dump trucks everywhere. But they're just trying their best to get all these canyons and the river cleaned out to try to alleviate some of this mud that keeps coming off the mountain.
Right.
The overall goal is going to have to be, we've got to get further up there on top of the mountain and fix the root cause. Of course, that's going to take time with, that's government money, and that's a slow process.
Yes.
It needs to be faster. It does affect the town. And like we said a while ago, unfortunately, there's videos floating around that, I see them. If anyone sees a video of Ruidoso and you see a 3-story building washing down the river, it's not us. We don't have any on the river. We don't have parking meters. I've seen videos of parking meters in Ruidoso. Right. Water up to the top of the parking meter. We don't have parking meter, so that's not Ruidoso.
And I think that gets confused because Texas got hit hard as well, and I had no clue. I heard about the flood in Texas, but man, I saw some videos and I'm like, and again, social media creating the narrative, right? And that's why people need to know there's not a parking meter. So you see one, you see a 3-story building, that is not Ruidoso, and that's what we want to get straight. It's great to hear, but I know that these floods also washed out some other things. Obviously, the track was hit hard, right? Initially, we were going to have this show at the Ruidoso Downs racetrack. Unfortunately, things didn't work out, and we're going to have it at Wingfield Park, which is right off of Midtown, right? Prime location.
Yeah, Center Street. It'll be right there on Center Street. It's just 1 block away from the shopping district, so it's really handy. All of us guys hang around the show, then the ladies can make their way into town,
right?
Do some shopping,
do some drinking, do some everything, right?
You betcha. You betcha. There's plenty of everything to do there. The show's going to go on just like it was planned. By the time September gets here, our monsoon season's pretty much over with. We might get a sprinkling rain or something, but there's no danger. I'm not going to try to lead people astray, and you're not either, by telling people, come to Ruidoso, let's have a car show and get washed away.
Right.
That's not what we want. We don't want that, and we're not going to have that.
Not at all. And even last year, right? It sprinkled a little on us during, the day of the show. The pre-party was great. Great night. Weather was awesome. We had a good turnout. Shout out to Scott. Scott, what's Scott's last name?
Scott Stevens.
Scott Stevens. Yeah, there you go. Scott Stevens, so you guys know, again, a little bit about the show, right? We are doing a run to Ruidoso, car and truck show. Everything's welcomed, from motorcycles to, you have lowriders, you have classics, you have all original, bring it down. The main goal is to have a good time. And this is the 19th and 20th of September that we're doing this. And we'll call it a 2-day event, right? Because we'll be out at
it really is
Scott Stevens' place on Friday night. So if you do plan on coming out, obviously it's going to be Friday the 19th. What we're going to do is we plan on heading out that morning. Doesn't have to be butt crack of dawn because we're 2.5 hours from you. We usually go in, have some lunch, and unload trucks if you're trailering or whatever, just get settled into Airbnbs, hotels, things of that nature. And then, like last year, we'll go to Scott's place. Super excited. He's opening up the Patina bar, or it's already open, is my understanding, right?
Already open, yeah.
So, excited to see that. And that's where the arcade was, right?
Yeah, and now the arcade is downstairs, so there's still something for the kids to do.
Right.
There will be, so Friday night, the Patina Lounge will be open upstairs, but also he has a band coming in called Whole Lot of Rosies, and it's an AC/DC tribute band.
Nice.
It's a female tribute band, and I've been there before and heard them, and they're awesome. They really are.
Nice.
It's going to be a fantastic time. Scott is he just puts on a really good place there. I mean, he's got an awesome place, and he knows how to throw a party.
Yeah.
There's food traders there. I believe right now they've got barbecue. They've got a stir fry. They have or hibachi, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
They have a hamburgers. They have a new fish and chips trader. So, and then there's the coffee bar. There's, and he has a full liquor license now. So, you can get pretty much anything you want to drink there too. So,
I'm just gonna sit here and brag about Scott's place, man. He also owns Anaheim Jacks, right? Is that correct?
Yep.
So he owns. He had a restaurant, and right before we had the show last year, he had a great turnout. I think it was a country concert or something. But this venue is just, it's top tier, for Ruidoso, especially just because it's 2 levels, parking on the bottom. We plan on hopefully still being able to bring some of the, what we call top vehicles, right? And park them inside the venue. But there's this massive stage. He's got cornhole. He's got, again, I think we'll have some Run to Ruidoso t-shirts we'll be selling, hopefully like last year. The patina lounge. I mean, just awesome. Fire pits. If you don't know about Jack's Backstage, man, look it up because the place is just phenomenal. And,
cool.
So that's literally going to be Friday night, right? And then we'll have the show on Saturday, which will be at Wingfield Park. I don't even think we've really hashed out as far as roll-in times or anything like that because we've been so busy and with all this crap that's been going on, but we will definitely have some details on roll-in times and get our shit together.
So one other thing, Rudy.
What's that?
So one other thing on Friday night, we've kind of, I'm in, pretty good contact with Steve Darnell all the time, which we haven't touched on that yet.
We haven't even touched on that. Celebrity. Tell them about it.
Yes. So Steve Darnell is a friend of mine. If you don't know who he is, which I don't know, if you're a car guy or truck guy, I don't know how you don't know who he is, but he was the guy on Discovery Channel for several seasons who had Vegas rat rods.
Right.
You might know him as Welder Up also, but so Steve will be rolling in here on Thursday. So Friday he'll be there at the pre-party Friday night, and he and I have talked about it, and we're going to have a little question and answer, a little deal that night on the stage. So if anybody has anything they want to ask him, we can sure enough get to that. He's a personal guy. He's not your typical TV guy. He's straight up just
I met him a few years back. He's been out to Dragon Main, I think twice. Dragon Main's in Clovis, New Mexico. Great show as well. Shout out to those guys. Hopefully they can join us as well. Hopefully this gets to them, right? And they can come down and support as well.
Thank you. I think a few are trying to get here yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, and so I met Steve, and he's very, very personable. He's not your typical, I don't want to throw names out there, but he's not your typical, reality TV.
He's not Richard Rollins. Let's just say it.
Oh, shit. You had to go.
I'm going to say it. Just not a fan of that guy. Sorry, but that's how life is.
Yeah, and some are very much, do you know who I am? And some aren't. Some are humble. And Steve Darnell is definitely that guy. Have some pictures from him years back with some of the guys from the club. And we're excited to have him come out, and shake a hand or 2 or 3 and sign some stuff. And like you said, the Q&A, right, is super cool.
Right.
To be able to get to ask somebody that is very, very well versed in the industry of what we like, which is classic cars, right? Rat rods and everything under the sun. So
he'll be bringing his Peterbilt out, that black, I think he calls it El Diablo,
right?
Peterbilt, and I believe last time he and I talked last week was I believe he's going to try to bring the D-Rod out. If you're not familiar with that one, that was that Model A he built with a Cummins diesel in it, that all over TV and everywhere, were him driving out through the desert and blowing smoke and making dust. And
nice. So he plans on bringing
that
two or 3 vehicles.
he'll be bringing just the Peterbilt and one of then I think the D rod. So
And he'll probably
and then
he'll haul that, right, with the Peterbilt, I'm guessing.
yeah, he's hauling it on the Peterbilt. And then his friend Frank, he owns NorCal Speed Shop, and he'll be coming out as well. I'm not sure what Frank will be bringing, if he brings anything at all. I know he just built a really bitchin' Diamond T rollback. I don't know. Last time I talked to Frank, he's trying to get all that together. Maybe he can bring some stuff out too. But he's up in Northern California, so it's a little bit further trip for him. But
very cool.
But anyway, either way, those guys will be with us all weekend.
Right. So, so you have an opportunity to chop it up with Steve, on Friday night. He'll also be at the show, obviously, all day. So again, we're going to get rolling times and a schedule put together here very, very shortly, because we're probably already running behind. I did talk to a friend of mine in regards to registration, just to kind of touch a little bit on that. And he said it is very, very expensive to do an online registration. Typically, you have to have a website built, which we're in no shape to be having websites built or anything like that at this point. So I think, and tell me, where I know we're having this on this conversation, but I think what we'll do is we're just going to create a form for registration. I think we're in agreement, Josh. Registration will be $25 a vehicle. We are going to have awards. We're going to have classes at the show, and there will be awards. We're planning on hopefully putting together, these little goodie bags that you get at shows. We plan on doing something like that as well. And I think what we'll do is just kind of create a Cash App, Venmo type thing, send out the forms. We'll also probably have registration the night of at Jack's Backstage. We'll coordinate that as well. So if you plan on coming in, you're not sure, you're on the fence, you can still register when you get there as well. But we're going to create a form, and then, basically you just send that in. We'll also touch on vendors, right? Because you've been sending a lot of vendors my way as well. If you look forward to being a vendor at the Run to Ruidoso Car Show, shoot me an email. Email address is going to be c10clubnewmexico@gmail. That's all one word. So C10 Club, CLUB, New Mexico, NEWMEXICO @gmail.com. All one word. So please send me if you're interested in being a vendor, if you're interested in being a sponsor. I got a call today from Julian, who is a cabinet and countertop guy out there in Ruidoso, who is interested in sponsoring. I know we're going to have some vendors. I have some jewelry vendors that have hit me up that you sent my way. Cannabis vendors. We'll obviously be vending our stuff. Are you planning on bringing stuff out to the show as well? Or are we just going to wait until post-party for that?
Well, it's typically, how shows go, and I'm usually running around my chicken with my head cut off. But
yeah,
we'll probably just hold off, and that way I can focus on the show, and then we can, we'll have the shop open all day, all weekend, matter of fact. So if someone wants to come down there, they're more than welcome to come anytime. Yeah, so the girls will be there.
Yeah. I mean, anybody that plans on, again, the village of Ruidoso is ecstatic to have anybody come in and visit and spend some time. So even if you plan on coming before Friday the 19th, if you haven't been to Rusty Ball's Speed Shop, I'm telling you, and anybody that knows, right, that has been to your shop, loves to stop by, loves to check in. He has some of the coolest merch out there. If you can appreciate, comedic, explicit, merchandise, I'll tell you right now, Josh Richardson at Rusty Ball Speed Shop definitely has it. Anything from nutsack keychains to vaginas. What do you want? What's your forte? And I mean, just to brag a little bit about your shop, they build the most unique shit that you'll ever see. He has some of the coolest stuff in his shop. I think one of the things we've been talking about, and one of the awards is possibly a pedal car, right? That you guys build.
So, and that's going to be, we're going to do, when me and the guys talked about it today, we're going to do a pedal car, and that will be the best of show trophy.
Nice.
So just to kind of, I mentioned today, I made a
I
Facebook post.
I didn't even see the Facebook post, but everybody's like,
Well,
hey, Rudy,
and
what's
I
going on?
apologize.
No, you're good. I mean, you're perfectly fine. I'm glad people contacted me and said, the show's happening? Yep, it sure is.
Yeah. Gosh,
So-
I did it first thing this morning. I think I was about half asleep. If anyone doesn't know me, well, if you don't know me, I don't drink. I've never drank in my lifetime. I've never done drugs. I've never smoked a cigarette. None of this stuff. You'd think I've got to be the boringest guy in the whole wide world. But this morning, when I look back at the video, it looked like I'm high or drunk or maybe even having a stroke. I'm not really sure.
Hungover. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm still here. I don't.
Yeah, but
unless someone slipped in here.
But that's why I say,
I don't know.
If you don't know Josh, it's very hard. I mean, I'm grateful that I have you on the phone. I mean, we like I said, we've been trying to do this for a little while, and you don't typically get on social media and speak. I mean, there's some videos on your Instagram page and Facebook. So when I got a few calls, text messages, I got some messages on the club page, and everybody's like, hey, y'all are doing the Run to Ruin with everything going on. I said, we sure are. Are you coming?
Yes, sir.
And so, just giving everybody the encouragement, and hopefully this interview also gives everybody the encouragement to go down there and visit, and go take your ride and cruise it around town. I mean, it's not, what's the street that goes through Midtown? It's not Southern, because you guys are on Southern. Oh, it is Southern. Okay.
Yeah, it's Southern. Yeah, it's Southern. Yes, sir. So, and even if you don't have a car or truck, or your truck's broke or whatever it is, just come down.
Yeah.
It's a free show to attend. It's $25 to put your vehicle in there, but it's free to attend all of these events: the Friday night pre-party, the Saturday show, and the Saturday evening post-party that we hadn't got to yet.
Yeah.
But it's all free. I mean, this is open to everyone who just wants to come down and enjoy a weekend here in Ruidoso.
Right.
Right.
And let's, so go ahead. Go ahead and finish.
So just to touch on classes right quick. I know you and I have talked about it a little bit, but I'll put it out there this morning on social media that the classes would be longest traveled. Mm-hmm. So we'll have a little deal there on the registration form on where you came from, so we can kind of look it up, see where everybody's from. And anyway, longest travel is going to get an award in best engine, best interior. We'll have a motorcycle category, a truck, lowrider, original, hot rod, rat rod, semi truck. We've got a lot of guys asking if they can bring their semi truck up here. And I said, sure, bring it on. So we got best paint, and then we'll be passing out, piece of paper for everyone to vote for the People's Choice.
Right.
And then best of show.
Right.
And you and I have talked about doing a first, second, and third in most all these categories. So,
right.
We can't give everyone a trophy. I mean, I'm old school. I don't believe everyone gets a trophy, but
right.
100%.
I think that's the challenge, right? But there's so many shows out there, and trophies are great. I think my personal opinion is the more the unique the trophy, the more you want to be there and you want to show off, right? Anybody wants to show off their car, wants that very unique trophy for their class. And, the cool thing is again, you guys are best to show is that pedal car, right? Which is very unique. I mean, who doesn't want a badass pedal car? And if you guys know anything about Rusty Balls, they build badass shit. I mean, just so unique. And so
enough about me.
Right. And where some of these trophies, one of the guys out here, Adam Mitchell, who's one of the guys who's part of our club, he plans on building some of these gears and just piston heads and stuff and welding something cool together. We've had talks, Hot Rods by Steve, shout out to him and Adam. They both plan on building awards, right, out of car parts and things of that nature. Just something very unique, something that, it's not just a plaque that says, best lowrider or best hot rod or rat rod or whatever the case is. It's just very unique and it's specified to that class. Yeah. Hopefully, I need to touch base with Steve as well. And the COEs that he's pumped out these last couple
Oh my
years.
God, good.
I mean, holy crap. You know, he is a very,
Oh,
very talented man. Hopefully he
you
can
bet.
join us. You know, like I said, we plan
Yeah.
on having as many of the guys from the club. I just wanted to touch base. Any guys from C10 Club New Mexico as well. We're going to need a whole lot of help with this because we are throwing this show with Rusty Balls and good old Josh has he's got Peach and Daniel who can only do so much, you know, out there, but they definitely work their ass off. Help last year tremendously. So, but anybody, because we have the club and we're throwing this show as well, that can volunteer. The more of us, the merrier, right? Because I'm not trying to take anybody's time, and I guess I shouldn't just keep it to the club. Anybody that wants to volunteer that can help out with the show that you know has a place in their heart for Ruidoso, you know, it'd be greatly appreciated. And the more of us that we
You
get, the
bet.
less time anybody has to spend, right? Parking vehicles or staying at a gate or anything like that. So I encourage anybody that does want to help. Please reach out to me. Please reach out to Josh, Rusty Ball Speed Shop on Facebook and Instagram,
Yep.
as well as C10 Club New Mexico. My
Yep.
personal page, Route C10. So yeah, I mean, let's get to post
And it's
party.
not mandatory.
Yeah, and
I
yeah,
don't want anybody thinking
yeah,
they
by all
have to
means.
work at
No,
because I don't
no.
want you staying away just because you
Yeah,
think you're
no,
gonna have to work. But
and that's
no, no,
why I'm
no.
saying the more volunteers that we can get, right? I know we helped out with Dino's show a few years back, our club, and you know we did 2-hour shifts, you know, and there was a handful of us. Now Dino's is a very, very large show, so that was a little bit more intense than what we're going to be doing, but for sure. But you know, shout out to Dino, by the way, throws a killer show every year. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we don't want to take everybody's time, you know, throughout. We want you guys to enjoy the show as well.
That's right.
But any help that you
That's
can
right.
provide during the show is greatly appreciated. And
You
then after
betcha.
the show, right? We got. Is there anything else you wanted to touch on the show before I move on
No,
to the
I mean,
post
you know,
party?
I think we're just. I mean, I've been telling everyone, and you and I haven't really nailed this down yet. But I think you know, it depends on the weather and all. But if the weather's good, you know, I think if we want to try to roll in a little early, you know, between 8 and 9 or so, you know,
Right,
somewhere in there, the show can go from like 9 to 3.
right,
And if we want to roll out a little earlier than 3, it's okay.
right.
I know things get a little tiring and boring after a while, and we don't want to keep everybody there thinking, "Oh God, what time can we go home or leave this place?" But at 5 o'clock is when the post party, the after party starts at Rusty Balls.
Well,
So
and I think just to touch real quick on the show, right? Because as you said, yeah, it gets a little boring, and people are like, "Oh, let's go." And I think last year it started to rain a little bit, and everybody got a little spooked, right, and headed out a little bit early.
right,
So I don't think we had, or I should say, you had the ability last year because again, that was kind of trial run, right? And we decided to
right,
do
and
this as an
quick.
annual thing. So for I would think that probably towards the end of the show, right, we go ahead and incorporate awards, so we hand out awards at the show, just in case
Do
anybody
you want
can't.
to?
What's that?
Yeah, I didn't know if you want to do. I haven't really. We haven't talked about this. If we want to do awards at the show, or do we want to do them at the after party, or
And I
however the
think,
case is.
yeah, I think it can go either way. I'm just saying. I mean, my thought is well, I guess anybody that's in town, they're in town for the show anyway, so we could do them also at the post party as well. I mean, I got no issue with that. But either
Yeah.
way, it'll be
For
either at
those
the
who,
end of the show or at the post party.
right, yeah. For those who haven't been to the post party, and it's not just because it's at Rusty Balls, but it's a thing, you know, that everyone pretty much enjoys. If you don't enjoy it, I guess you wouldn't come back. But
Right.
you know, we have Mike from Hogg's Grill up there in Albuquerque, and
Yes.
Mike's gracious enough to come down here every year, and
Yes.
he always cooks for us. And if you hadn't had his hamburgers or tacos
Oh
or
man, you talk
anything
about
the
a
guy
green
cooks, it's
chili cheese.
bad.
Anything that Mike Hoggs, shout out to Mike Hoggs, Mike Valenzuela and Savannah. I mean, these people feed hundreds of people. Mike
Yeah,
is a great guy. He runs the Albuquerque Swap Meet. Speaking of, shout out to the Albuquerque Swap Meet is coming up in October. I think it's October 3rd, 4th, and 5th if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, gotta go to that.
And Mike Hoggs runs the Albuquerque Swap Meet, and he also is a great cook. And if you ain't ever had a green chili cheeseburger, I'm saying, no matter what place it is in New Mexico, he runs the Hoggs Grill at the ABQ Dragway. You can find his food out there, and it's typically those green chili cheeseburgers he's known for. But and I'm not sure if he's doing tacos or what he's doing, but every year he blesses us, right? Even past events, that and the post parties that have been at Rusty Balls, this man throws down. Him and Savannah are just, they kill it. They kill it. So shout out to Mike, and he'll be cooking for us this year.
He will be. We've got him nailed down. I had to hog time and get in here, but no, he's a super good dude. If you don't know him, get to know him, and if you've got kind of a weak stomach, don't have him pile a lot of green chili in there at one time.
Yeah, he don't mess around when it comes to that chili.
It's potent, very potent.
But I mean, even what he cooks on. He's got, I don't know if it's a Buick. He's got a Buick, the front end of
Buick,
front end of a Buick grill, and that's what he throws down on. Last year we had to kind of improvise, but he's also he has a C10 as well. I forget what his is. This is a 67 through 72 step side Papa Smurf, and he's got the little trailer, and he's converted that to a grill, and hopefully he can bring that this year. But that's what he cooks on, man, and whatever he cooks. I've had tacos, I've had pozole, I've had so many different things this man cooks, and anything he touches, he brings magic. So I can't say enough good things about him. So shout out to him and Savannah again. So and
the best part about it all is free.
Exactly.
I cover all this.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
So if you haven't made it to the post party, you got to come at least once.
Yes.
We're not going to twist your arm and make you come back, but it's a party that we just hang out at the shop. We start gathering up about 5.
Right.
All the businesses around us by that time on a Saturday afternoon are closed, so we have plenty of parking for everyone up and down Sutterth there and all the parking lots. And I have a really good friend here, and he will be making homemade ice cream on the spot too.
And if you have not had this ice cream, if you've ever been to a Rusty Balls post party, and what is this ice? It's homemade ice cream. He sits there and he's literally whipping this stuff up right in front of everybody. Comes in, takes him a little minute to set up. But what is that machine from? The 50s, the 30s, the 40s?
Yeah, it's no hit and miss motor from a oil field, from a pump jack.
Yeah,
and he fired that thing off, and the goodness begins, And
whiskey ice cream. He puts bourbon or whiskey. I mean, he puts a little bit of alcohol in there this stuff is great.
Not for everybody, not for the kids.
Yeah, not for the kids. This is family friendly for sure. But,
that's right. We don't want somebody's got to drive home. We'll leave it to the kids.
Exactly.
But so we'll have that going on. His name is Mr. Prendergrass. Him and his wife George and Bobby, great people. So come to the party. After party, we'll be passing out some little tickets, and we'll be doing giveaways out of the shop ever so often.
And everybody wants to win something from Rusty Balls, but you
don't know what you're gonna get too.
Yeah, so. And go out and support. I mean, I tell you, there's a lot of hole in the wall shops that you can go to any village, town. And I'll tell you right now, there's going to be something for you at Rusty Balls. I promise you that. There is going to be something.
Spread that love all over town.
What's that?
This town needs it.
Yeah.
Spread love all over town.
Right.
I encourage you, if you really got so much money to spend, hit every shop and make sure there's not something else you need. You don't have to spend it all. And kudos, I appreciate it.
Yeah, and kudos to you, Josh, for spreading that love and encouraging, right? And there's so many unique shops in Ruidoso. To find something.
A lot of good people.
Yeah. And
these people are hurting, man. I mean, this is the second year of an economic downturn that's just really been critical. It's been crippling for these folks. And we if you've got something, you see something in the window, or you think you need something, and if you can spare it, throw it at them, because these folks are counting on everyone that comes to town.
Right, the tourism and everything. And I think that's, again, I can't say it enough, but that's a big part of trying to get this interview out there, just so people can understand, right? And like we said,
Yes.
or I said that the food and the supplies and everything is great, but bring the business, because guess what?
You bet.
Just like Josh, there are so many people and their livelihood depends on those shops and the tourism. And when they're seeing the narrative on social media and the news and everything that's going on, with even unfortunately the mayor trying to shoot people away, it's not a good look, right? And
No.
we need to think about, and I think what the world lacks, Josh, correct me if I'm wrong, is so many people nowadays don't know how to put themselves in somebody else's shoes, right? Unfortunately,
That's right.
the world is very, very selfish. In 2025, it's very selfish. It's very self-consumed. It's all about you. But think about somebody else, right? And their position, and the devastation that Ruidoso has been through is just it's nuts.
It's
And
tough.
I can't
It's
even
tough.
imagine. So anybody that can attend the show, just go down there and visit. It doesn't even have to be for the show. I mean, just encouraging
Yeah.
people
Just
to
come
go
down
down to
anytime.
Ruidoso and
Yeah.
check it out. It can be
Yeah, if you
before the
can't
show.
come the weekend of the show, come any weekend. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And when you say devastation, it's not just what you see. The devastation goes so much further than that. When you drive into town, you'll look, you're going to say, wow, this thing's not near as bad as I thought it would be. What were they talking about devastation?
Right.
But the devastating part of it is just the downturn in tourism. And it's been a devastating blow for so many people. We've lost so many stores and so many eating places and everything for people who just can't endure this low. So
Mhm.
it's it's just one of those deals that if you look on your calendar and September 19th and 20th doesn't work for you, don't be scared to come down here on another weekend and just get you a hotel, get you an STR, short-term rental of Airbnb, whatever. Go eat at Jack's, go eat at Anaheim Jack's, go eat anywhere here in town. Just go out and have a good time. Ruidoso can use it.
Yeah,
And I'm telling you,
there's
I know most of the business owners here.
yeah, and
They appreciate it.
And there's lots of great. I mean, Noisy Water Winery is down there. Downshift Brewing. There's some other breweries down there. Obviously, like
Mhm.
everywhere else in New Mexico, there's a cannabis shop on on every block.
Oh yeah,
Anything you
yeah.
want
There's
to
plenty
do,
of those here.
and it's just it's a beautiful place. And going back to kind of the devastation, I mean, I know when we visited last year after the fires, right? We did the same thing. We drove in and said, well, what? I thought this place, and I'm not saying that we didn't see certain things, but like you
will.
said,
You will.
like you said, the fire, right? It jumped and it picked and chose where it wanted to go and what it did, because
Sure.
coming into town, you're seeing businesses, right, that you're like, okay, well, where's all the devastation? But then all of a sudden you'll see on the corner a building just gone, right? And when we
Yep.
visited last
Yeah.
year, again, fires were in June, and when we visited in September, we didn't really notice, but then all of a sudden you'd see a building or two, or you'd see just like a row of charred trees or a certain area of charred trees, and then you'd see that building just gone, And again, those are the
Yeah.
people that we want to encourage, that they're still rebuilding. Josh, you're still rebuilding, so it's important to go down there
It's
and
going to be a long
support,
time.
Yeah,
You
it's
betcha.
yeah,
When you
it
come in
definitely
from
is.
Albuquerque, you come in from the north. I mean, you're going to see devastation since you
Right.
come into
And
town.
that's
But
usually
it's on the outside.
right. And that's where we saw a lot of, where the fires probably started and moved their way
You
towards
betcha.
town, and then same thing with the
Yeah.
floods, right? We're like, okay, this flood just happened. Well, I didn't see it anywhere that it was affected. I mean, granted, I didn't. Well, actually, we were down to the track. The track didn't suffer too much devastation by September when we were there, but the only place that I
Right.
did see is over there. I don't know the names of the streets, but the cross streets right there where the I think it's a Allsups or a Chevron on the corner there.
Yeah, right there, Meacham and Sutter.
Yeah,
Sure.
so
Yeah.
right there, I mean, there was these Airbnb little cabins, man, that were just trashed, and that was literally
Yeah.
the only place. Which I'm guessing that's where
Yeah.
this Rio Ruidoso River runs through, right?
Right.
Yeah,
And that's
so
where Brady Canyon and all that comes together. So all that's gone now. They cleaned all that off, and it's
right.
it's still a troubled area. It's going to be a troubled area for a while.
Right.
But you know, and I can't throw enough good stuff out there to tell everyone that the village of Ruidoso, when this water goes down within 30 minutes, for the most part, unless it's some humongous flood, which we haven't seen too bad this year, once or twice, but usually within about 30 minutes, the village has got this stuff cleaned up,
Right.
and it's business as usual.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I say. If if you're here and you think you're gonna endure some flooding, just hang out. Just go to your eating place. Go to a shopping area and just hang out. Wait for it to happen.
K-Bob's, they got a
K
K-Bob's down there. K-Bob's is a great place to eat
Bob's
as well.
still hang out over.
Yeah.
I ate there today. Still good food. So
yeah. So there's
also, Rudy, we've got to talk about our host hotels and campground too. So
yes, we do. So we're still working on the main shout out to the Elegante Hotel and Resort. They've been kind enough to put a block on rooms out there. I just want to get out there as well. If you are going to contact the hotel, please do not contact reservations. Reservations knows nothing about a block. If you do contact reservations, ask them for the hotel front desk phone number. When you contact the hotel front desk, mention the Run to Ruidoso Car Show on the 19th and 20th, and they will have a block room rate for you. I believe right now the rooms are $159, $169 for king. I'm not sure what a queen costs, but that is one place. I'm not sure if there's any availability. I think they've gotten booked up pretty quick, to my understanding. But Rainbow Cabins as well, if you look them up, they have some really cool little cabins in this little community. You can also mention Run to Ruidoso there. I think we're working on the Comfort Inn, and then we have what is the last one?
then the
Sitzmark Hotel as well is another one that you mentioned. Run to Ruidoso.
So yeah, you want to call their direct number. They also have an 800 number as well, but I do have a couple phone numbers here.
Okay.
The Sitzmark is a 575-257-4140. That's their local number. They also have an 800 number, 658-9694.
Okay.
If you want to call the Elegante direct, it's a 575-258-5500.
Nice. You're more prepared than I am.
Man, I'm just trying to keep it all together here. Rainbow Cabins. Let's get a number out there for them as well. So that's going to be 575-630-2267. They've got RV spots, and they also have little cabins there as well. Also, so I know a lot of people are probably going to bring their cars and trucks and whatever in on a trailer. So if you're looking for a place to stay and you're going to rent a hotel room, if you're bringing on a trailer, I would suggest to try to book at the Elegante because they have more parking there for truck and trailer.
Yes, and in speaking with them, they have plenty of parking. So if you do plan on trailering a vehicle out here, that is definitely the place. It's near the convention center, so there is plenty of parking down there for trucks and trailers. If you have any questions, again, feel free to reach out to me or Josh. And thank you, Josh, for having those phone numbers available, because I'm like, oh, shit, I don't have that. But you got my back.
Also, that Elegante, if you plan on, getting here on Friday evening for the pre-party and you think you want to let your hair down and let it all hang out on Friday night, if you're staying at the Elegante, it is walking distance right across the golf course from Jack's Backstage to the Elegante.
Thank you for mentioning that, because believe me, Jack's Backstage. Now don't tie one on too bad, because we need to see you at the car show the next day. But I know a lot of you New Mexicans out there know how to take in your menudo or pozole or liquid IV or whatever you're doing, and you'll be there. But yes, it is walking distance. And thank you for sharing that, because anybody that is staying at the Elegante, it is walking distance to Jack's Backstage.
Yes, sir. But also, shout out to the other two as well. The Sitzmark They're fantastic folks. They've
Yes.
always been more than hospitable to do anything they can to make it go for us. So
Yes, and
share
Brent,
some love with Lori and
yeah,
Todd, and
at
also with
Sits Mark.
Rainbow
Yeah,
Cabins.
Brenda.
Yes,
Brenda
she
at
reached out.
Rainbow Cabins. I believe it's Brenda is who she jumped on board with no problems, and there was quite a few. I knew quite a few folks. Some of our guys actually stayed down there at Rainbow Cabins, and they got plenty of trailer parking and all that good stuff as well. You know, if you want to bring an RV or whatever the case is. So shout out to Brenda at Rainbow Cabins and all
Yeah,
these hotels
and
that
they're
are
right up
laying
the
out.
road
So
from the
what's that?
they're right up the road from the end of the Mountain Gods too. They're at Rainbow
Right.
Cabin. So in
And
case you didn't know.
into the mountain gods, hey, if we got some of those bougie folks out there and they want to just, or, casino players, stay at
Yeah,
the end of the mountain gods.
that's right.
Beautiful place as well.
Yeah, everyone can use your money. I mean, these
Right.
people are not going to turn it away. And fortunately for us, we picked a weekend here that's kind of a little bit slower anyway.
Right.
So the room rates, I know they've done us a really big good job of getting room rates cheap for all of us. So, but yeah, there's plenty of places to stay, plenty of places to eat, plenty of places to shop. So shouldn't be any shortage of entertainment for the weekend. But yeah, Steve will be there Saturday night at the after party as well.
Right.
So he'll be hanging out with us, just kicking around, trying to line up some
And again,
entertainment for the
shout
Saturday night.
shout out to Steve Darnell. Thank you for coming down and not only supporting the show but supporting Ruidoso as well.
Yes,
And
also Saturday night, Scott Stevens over at Jack's Backstage will be having the two bands. God help me out, Rudy. I don't remember what era they were in. 90s, early 2000s. I don't know, but they're Fuel and Lit. They were two of the rock bands from back in those days. They will be at Jack's Backstage that night. So
yeah, so
if you're up for some rock and rolling,
if you wanna go to the after party to the other after party, then Scott's definitely willing to accommodate, right? With a full liquor license and bands playing and everything.
Yeah.
And you will definitely, if you attend the pre-party, you will definitely want to go back there.
If you like the firewater and like to let your hair down, if you don't go home Sunday feeling bad, you didn't do it right. Because there's plenty of opportunity to feel bad by Sunday.
Exactly. So,
I mean, don't do it if you don't want to, but I mean, if you feel encouraged, I mean, make it happen.
Right.
But,
and if you want to stay longer, Ruidoso welcomes you to stay longer if that's what you want to do.
Hang out with us all the time. You can hang around the shop with us Monday while we're beating and banging and grinding and carrying on there. But, feel free to come by any day you're there. We're always around.
Yeah. And I mean, you're like Josh said, if you can't make it that weekend, you want to make it before. If you want to make both, right? If you want to go check it out, prior. I talked to Peach and Daniel earlier today, and I was trying to get them on the phone this evening, but we did this a little later than I thought. I was going to try to see if I could get all you guys on the phone while they were still y'all were still there.
I think they're in love.
Yeah, but they're always in love. They're always in love, and it's with a different woman.
And love her in jail. I don't know what's funny.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Josh at Rusty Balls. You can either call the shop. What's the number to the shop, Josh?
Oh hell, that's the only number I don't know.
Come on, Josh.
Crap.
So while he figures out,
I don't know
while he figures out his own business phone number.
Okay, that's 575-937-5215. Okay. And there's a really good chance I won't answer that. So I'm sorry. I'm a horrible guy to try to get a hold of, but leave me a message or text it, either one.
Yeah,
or you can shoot us a message on Facebook or Instagram.
Right,
either way,
that's what I was going to say. If you have questions, about Ruidoso, if you don't know Ruidoso, I know for me personally, I visited quite a few times, but I don't know the places to go and to not go. And going back to Peach and Daniel, Daniel mentioned something, right? Anybody that is a native from New Mexico, right? We all grew up and we know who La Llorona is, right? So if you know who La Llorona is, you know the story that your parents, your grandparents, whoever it was, they told you, don't go to the arroyo because La Llorona will get you. It's the same thing that applies in Ruidoso. Don't go near the river. That's where it's flooding. It's not flooding at Wingfield Park or in Midtown. It's flooding near the river. So stay your ass away. Stay your ass away from the river, or La Llorona will get you. Period. You know. Other than
Mother
that,
Nature is a bitch.
Yeah,
So.
you'll be in good shape. You know. So again, you know, anything else you got on the plate? I think we touched on hotels. We touched on vendors.
I mean, don't be shy to come here. I mean, no one's gonna. I don't know of anyone who would welcome you to their house and then burn the house down around you after they get you locked inside.
Right.
So we're not doing that here either in Rio. So I mean, the town's good. I know you've probably heard all kinds of stuff everywhere, but you know, just be sensible. Use some common sense. Just, you know, keep your ears open. If it starts clouding up and getting dark, you know, if you probably have your notifications turned on your phone anyway,
right,
it's gonna go off. You know, and just get away from the river. Get away from the canyons. If it's muddy, here's a pretty good, you know, setting here. If it's muddy, if you're walking around in mud, it's probably not a safe place to be. If you're down by the river, it's muddy because it got muddy there because some water came through there one time or another. So, you know, just there's plenty of cool things to do and not get in the river to do. You know, so just get up on the Highline with us and hang out. So,
right,
it's all good.
Yeah. So again, if anybody
take your $100,000 car to the river.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean,
truck or whatever.
If anybody has questions, again, you can reach Josh at the phone number he provided. You want to visit the shop, please visit his shop and all the other shops in Ruidoso. That is these people's livelihood. Show some compassion. One of the things that I did want to mention as well, you know, in regards to this interview is I just want to send a special shout out to Bozo, James Bozo Cordova. He is he is definitely he's going through it right now. He's got some health concerns. Unfortunately, his show was canceled. His was actually the weekend before ours. He swapped his dates for us. I'm really hoping they can attend, but under the circumstances, it's definitely understandable if he can't. But I just wanted to give a shout out to him, to Michael Wiley, you know, to Stacy, to everybody in Roswell that knows, or anybody that knows Bozo, right? He's just going through it right now. Please keep him in your thoughts, his family, in your thoughts and your prayers. If you haven't ever visited Bozo's museum in Santa Rosa, New Mexico, the guy is, I mean, I can't say enough good things about him. He is just a stand-up guy, one of the realest people. And I just met him last year. And now this year I planned on attending his show, doing some videography for it. And unfortunately he has some health concerns. So, you know, just please keep him in your thoughts and prayers, because he is also a big part of the car community, the classic car community. And he has thrown, I think, for 30 plus years. He took a break there for a little while, but we're going to miss him probably at our show this year, and we will miss going and attending his show. He changed his dates for us so that we could support one another, you know, in these shows. And I'm just asking that everybody keeps him in their thoughts and prayers. And you know, we wish him a speedy recovery and to get back on his feet. And I just wanted to mention that. And like I said, keep him and his family and Santa Rosa in your thoughts and prayers. Other than that, you know, again, you have questions, hit us up. Route C10 is who I am on Instagram. C10 Club New Mexico, all one word. You know, you can find us on Instagram and Facebook, and likewise Rusty Ball Speed Shop. Thank you so much, Josh, for your time.
The Rusty Ball Speed Shop. It's the Rusty Ball Speed Shop on Instagram.
There you go.
And then Rusty Ball Speed Shop on Facebook. But yeah, I mean, dude, and I want everyone to know this is not just a New Mexico show. It's open for everyone.
Right.
I mean, if you hear this and you're in West Texas, or you're in Arizona or Colorado, I don't care where you're from.
Right. And we got some guys. We got some guys coming out from Texas, that a dually group that plan on attending.
Mm-hmm.
We got another guy that he builds phenomenal. He fabricates these wagons that look like, I mean, he just did a square body. He's done some one that looked like a Model A. They plan on coming out. There's going to be some cool things happening at this show. So I encourage everybody to again attend. And the main thing, anybody that hears this interview, if you can please share so that we can get the positivity back to Ruidoso as opposed to the negativity and the narrative that social media and the news puts out there. If you're listening and you hear this interview, if you can just copy the link, I'm going to go ahead and upload this to YouTube. You can just go into your web address, copy the link, send it to somebody send it to somebody that can come out, you think that would be interested in attending this show, because it's again a family friendly event. It's for everybody. It's for lowriders. It's for Viklas. It's for mini trucks, whatever it is. From El Paso, Texas to Midland, Texas to Lubbock to, I mean, everybody's welcome. Arizona, California, wherever you're at. If you want to just get away to a nice, peaceful place and see a kick-ass show, please share this.
You bet. And hey, and another thing, I touched on the classes. I don't know what else to add. But if you reach out to Rudy or I and say, you know what, we've got a whole bunch of, just for instance, say, my kids have bicycles, and there's a whole bunch of bicycles here.
Yeah, lowrider bikes are
that
huge.
would love to come.
Right.
Yeah,
Lowrider bikes are huge.
We don't mind adding another class or
100%. I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah, give us enough heads up so we can make trophies for that. But we're open to whatever. Just broaden our horizons. Make our eyes open up, and we'll see what we can do to accommodate everybody. So.
Definitely. So again, Josh, thank you so much for your time. I know you're an old fart,
thank you,
and you need to get to bed. And
I'm missing out on my beauty sleep, man. Golly dang!
Exactly.
You that video.
Yeah, you didn't get it last night. So and I don't think you probably gotten any for the last year. And also, Josh, we always keeping you in my thoughts and prayers as well, and you rebuilding.
Thanks,
I know you got the house going up, and I know you, Peach, and Daniel have done your fair share there, and we wish you a speedy recovery as well, right? Because thanks, right now, you still don't have a home, right, to stay in. You're staying in a camper. You have a home, but you don't have a home.
Really? I looked homeless before I was homeless, so now I just fit the part. So, there you go.
And if you don't know Josh, just look for the guy that looks like the tall, slender reject from ZZ Top.
There you go. I can't play the guitar and I can't sing,
but he's a great, good old boy. Thank you again so much, Josh. I appreciate your time dearly, and I'm very, very blessed and honored to be a part of this show with you.
Thanks, man. I'm so glad you're part of it, and hey, this is as much yours as it is mine. So, it's all of us. It's everyone who attends. It's all, this party's for everyone. No matter who you are, where you are, Rusty Balls is a place for everyone to come and enjoy. We just want everyone to have a good time.
Let loose.
It's all y'all party.
Yeah.
So, come and enjoy it. It doesn't cost you anything to hang out with us.
Right.
So, just come down and make your presence known. And let's enjoy the weekend, so you can go home and tell your friends about it. So next year they'll want to come.
Agreed.
But yeah,
I concur.
It's all good. It's all good. And thank you, Rudy, for all you're doing here, man. I know it's a lot of work, and
of course, hey,
but we're gonna have fun.
Yeah,
we're gonna have fun.
We're gonna figure it out, and at the end of the day, it is about the camaraderie of everybody coming together and just enjoying one another's company. Thank you all so much for listening to this interview. If you're listening out there, and please share it, like it. I don't necessarily need a subscriber. I'm not after the fame or fortune, but please just like it. If you enjoyed it, and please share. Again, run to Ruidoso Car and Truck Show, September 19th, 20th of 2025. Hope to see all of you there. Thank you again, Josh.
Yes,
and this is us.
Hey, thank you, man. I'm looking forward to all it.
For sure. This is us signing off. Thank you, guys. Be sure to be kind to one another out there as well. All righty. We'll see you all later.
Peace out.